It's your boy Superman 2000. I'm in the fight chair. This is like this is the craziest event I've ever seen. Okay, so first we had the magic weight loss trick. Then we had the Chris Weidman knee to the head thing. Now Rumble Johnson is saying that he's retiring. He gave his commitment to another job, non MMA related, that he's taking. So I'm like, that's strange, I guess. So he's retiring. Did he knew he was gonna retire before he got in the ring? I'm confused about this because no, it's like, bruh, if you know you're not gonna, you just plan to retire, why would you take a title shot? You know, unless you had systematically the stuff to sabotage yourself or something like that. If you get the title and you knew you was you're gonna get the title and then retire, then it become an interim thing. I'm kind of confused about all these fighters. You know, or maybe he just okay, maybe he just lost the fight, so he just just say, hey, well, you know what, screw it, I'm going into retirement. No, remember when I made my pick the last time, I said I didn't like my pick, but I had to go with the numbers. I had to go with Rumble. Now I thought the game that Rumble was gonna fight was the game where you stand and bang and you keep your distance. Why would you try to out wrestle a wrestler? That doesn't make any sense. You outstrike a wrestler. You're the better striker. You outstrike him. You know? You outstrike him. You use a fight triangle. You back up your circle. You strike. You back up your circle and you strike. You know, you don't try to out wrestle the wrestler. Burn up all your energy and your cardio. And I mean, it was like it was like Rumble was defending himself at one point. He had both hands on the ground. So it's almost as if he was already knocked out, and DC was already catching him right in the spot right here. That's the lights out spot. But I just put him in a chokehold so that the ref would say, okay, he's defending himself, let it ride. So I'm confused about that. But all along, it's a good fight. I give Daniel Cormier's prop. Now, the fight I'm looking forward to seeing is going to take place. It's probably going to be John Jones / Daniel Cormier, or maybe Cormier get a warm up fight with Manoa. But the trash talking that DC was doing was toward Jimmy Manoa. So DC is probably saying, hey, I want Jimmy Manoa next. That's who I want to fight next. I don't have time for good old fashioned John Jones. But you see, the thing is that when you're a wrestler like DC is, man, I give him his props for this win tonight. But when you're a wrestler like DC is, and you start depending on your wrestling a lot, you probably wind up becoming like, I hate to say it, Ronda Rousey, where you become a one trick pony. Everybody know what you're gonna do. They know you're gonna take them down. They know you're gonna ground them out. Then it's just like it's pre-programmed, and this is why I'm surprised that after the first fight, Rumble didn't see this coming. Now I remember an interview that I did with Rumble Johnson, where he said, "Hey, I didn't watch, the fight where I lost. I've only watched the tape like twice." What? You only watch the tape twice, dude. If I lose a fight, I'm not watching that tape twice. I'm watching it 100 times. I'm gonna see where I win. I'm gonna see where I capitalize. I'm gonna work on the things that I'm good at, and then the thing that I'm bad at, I'm gonna bring them up. So in the last fight, he was ahead when he kept his distance, and when he kept his distance, and when he utilized his striking and he didn't engage. You can't aggressively engage a wrestler. I've learned it the hard way. You can't do that. You don't never, when this is like combat 101. Whenever fighting a stronger opponent, let them come at you first, draw them out, and then when they're on the offensive, that's when you launch your counter. Same thing Conor McGregor did. Jose Aldo he knew he couldn't stand toe to toe with Jose Aldo. He saw what he did. He draw him out when he was coming out, and that's when he did the counter, and that's when he took out Jose Aldo. I mean, time and time again, you'll see it over and over again. Whenever a stronger opponent faces when I face a weaker opponent and a weaker opponent just waits for the right time and draw him out, then that's when while a stronger person is attacking. Because once you throw a punch or a kick, you're committed to it. You can't just pull it back real fast. You're committed, and for that split second, you're vulnerable, and then that's when your opponent capitalize. So this thing, I mean, how could you? I think that just threw me off. I'm seeing a tweet here. Okay, so everybody's saying it's one of the other UFC fighters wishing Anthony Johnson the best of luck in his new career. But I'm just saying, hey, never ever. I don't care how good you think you are. If somebody's a better wrestler, don't try and take them down. Don't try and fight their game. Fight your game. Control the pace of the fight, and that's how you get your win. Okay, nothing wrong with being a pressure fighter, but you gotta control the pace. Man, I'm just so blown by this. It's almost as if Rumble just, I don't know. I gotta go back, and maybe his heart. I can I take that back. I would say maybe Rumble's heart wasn't in the fight, but I take that back. I don't think that's the case. I just think he just fought a bad, just a bad fight. And then Cannabis Heels, my main man, he's back in action. He was watching this fight tonight. He made a very interesting point. He said, if DC had missed the weight, then he'd have been stripped of his title. And I was like, yeah, that is true, because I remember this other guy, this I forgot his name. He's a Jamaican boxer, but he trains in Panama. He weighed in once in New York, and he missed the weight, and he was stripped of his title immediately. Stripped of the title, and the fight was only to defend his win loss record, but not title related. So he's right. If DC didn't do the magic towel trick, he'd have wind up being stripped of the title. So yeah, this is just like one of the most bizarre UFC events ever. All right, guys, my 2 cents from the fight here. I'm gonna watch this fight over again and just break it down step by step in my mind and just see what happened, because I can't imagine, you know some how it wind up like. I think that doesn't just, and what I'm noticing in the UFC now, I'm gonna make this video too long. What I'm noticing in the UFC is that whenever guys get taken down, they automatically give their back up to the other person, and then try and lock both hands underneath, and then try and stand up and then pin the person up against the cage. Hey, that doesn't work all the time. Somebody take you down, you don't want to give your back up. You know, I mean, because think about this: the way Cormier was on top of him with that other leg hook locked in. He was sprawled on top of him with the leg hooked in. And normally, when somebody, when you give your back up, if you do not let the person sprawl you up, because your rib cage is stretched, it's harder to breathe, and you get in wind. You don't let the person sprawl you. You at least ball up, so you're like you're on your knees, hands on your knees, and then afterwards you can do a granny roll. You can roll in a direction and get them and then after the granny roll, you want to cover your neck, and you want to make sure you have both of their hands contained so they can't put you in a rear neck choke. But they have to lock the legs in. So point of the granny roll to prevent them from locking their legs in, and then swiftly escape. Get their hands down, then turn and spin and reverse the position. But that didn't happen. So I don't know how you get somebody, you give your back up, and then the guy sprawl, and then you don't try to roll in either direction. Because Daniel Cormier had the leg locked in, and then one leg on the other side. So if Rumble tried to roll, he'd have rolled over with Daniel on his back, which isn't too bad, because Rumble is a big, strong boy. He could have hold his, he could have held off from getting a rear neck choke. He could have held off from he got a rear neck choke, but he could have held off from being choked out with Daniel on lying with him lying on top of Daniel. Because Daniel wouldn't have been able to get the legs in. Then he could have worked the position and then at least bare minimum try and get side guard control. But it's just like, I'm sorry I'm rambling on about this fight. I'm gonna watch it over and over again and break it down in my mind. I gotta see where this guy went wrong. It was a good event, good victory for DC. This is why I love fighting, man. It's just, all right, guys. Peace up from the fight here before I wind up talking. You guys head off.